60s. Because
he said he don't wrestle no more.
Oh yeah, he said that was a quick answer.
Oh,
quick answer. Let's see. Let me. Yeah, that took no time at all. I was like, "Does Lanny still work?" They're like, "No," real quick.
He still looks like well, I can't say still. A few years ago, he looked in decent shape.
He is 62.
I see.
So, one of the smart guys, that enough's enough on your body. You don't need to still work. Unlike
some of these guys don't know that.
Like Nikolai Volkov and
he's got to be 70.
Greg Valentine. So these guys.
Yeah, and they look pathetic. They look absolutely pathetic in the ring.
They just need to stop working. At least Tito Santana still looks good. I mean, he's not as mobile. He's not as mobile, but shape-wise, compared to some of the others, he's still a lot better than a lot of them.
Yeah.
Gravity hasn't attacked him as bad.
He's also not as old as Nikolai Volkov.
How old is he? I mean, he's like 100.
He's got to be close. He's got to be close to 70.
Let's see. Let's see. Nikolai.
But getting back to your guests at the Legends, Twisted Sisters, Return to Warriors of Wrestling, and who's the other girl? Caitlin Diamond.
Caitlin Diamond. Yep, she's from Canada.
You want to know what's nice? You want to know what's nice about these girls coming in?
He's 69 years old.
69. I said close to 70. You want to know what's nice about these girls coming in? After your radio show last week, I don't have to hear somebody tell me how these girls suck, or why am I bringing them in, or if you bring these girls in, I'll quit. Well, the Twisted Sisters are already subjected to that nonsense back at the end of last year, beginning of this year. But Caitlin Diamond obviously hasn't been. And nobody else will have to be anymore for that nonsense because that guy is no longer with Warriors of Wrestling.
See. All right, so we're gonna jump right into that. The fallout from last week's show, the rise and fall of Valkyrie, and the whereabouts of Kris Levin. I can tell you my fall.
Well,
I didn't have much of a fallout because he blocked me from everything before the show.
He blocked me too.
So he blocked me.
I wasn't even on your show. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So he blocked me.
He blocked everything. Dennis Long.
Yeah, he blocked Dennis Long of Tier 1, which most people say rightfully so.
I know that Steve Sterling and Aaron Stride have a lot of stories to talk about Kris Levin. And Aaron Stride said to me, he's like, it would have been nice if somebody would have warned you, and he was being sarcastic because Aaron Stride did warn me.
Yeah.
Steve Sterling was witness to his actions. I believe it was D2W where he didn't like his Jessica Bonesaw Brooks' placement on the card, and he wasn't reffing her match, so he wanted to fist fight the promoter, who I don't know who this promoter is. I don't know anything about him. I don't know what he looks like, but I'm sure that guy would have fucked up Kris.
All right, let's put it this way. Jamie from the Jersey Devil.
I don't know him. I don't know who he is.
He's about 6'2", 280 pounds, and jacked.
Well, Kris Levin, I think, is about 5'5" and weighs about $140.
Yeah.
So maybe he would have told him, "You're being passive aggressive now." I've never. The guy writes me with that fucking word. I'm like, first of all, dude. No, who the fuck talks like this?
And first
you sound
of all,
like a fucking idiot.
You're using the word incorrectly, because for someone to be passive aggressive, it doesn't mean because they're on Facebook calling you out and making you defend yourself. That's not being passive aggressive. If anything, that's being overly aggressive. What he does is passive aggressive and talk shit behind people's backs and hope that people don't find out about it.
Well, he does it also not only behind people's backs. He also does it on the computer, which somebody just messaged me. I'm not going to say his name on here, but me and him always talk about. I learned this phrase from him. I don't fight on the computer because computers can't punch back or punch you or something like that.
Yeah.
So and people are going to type to me now and confuse me when I'm talking.
Now you know how I went through last week.
This guy has had issues everywhere he went. Not just. I think I put up with it for the longest.
Everywhere.
And I thought, and I think like what a relief it was after this guy quit and after his girlfriend quit, and nothing wrong with his girlfriend because I have nothing bad to say about her as far as being a person. But I seem to think like every time we brought in a girl, there was an issue, no matter what the girl's name was or who the girl was. And then, it got to the point like he didn't want her working girls. Like, oh, you have to have intergender matches. Why are you bringing in a women's title? I think that's a bad idea. And I'm like, what? Then I'm starting to think maybe he just didn't want his girlfriend wrestling other girls because they wouldn't take some of the moves she does. Which could be it, because some girls don't want to. I hate the German suplex. And that's one of Jesse's moves. But here's the thing: that's all Jesse does.
Right.
So, she's limited. She's extremely limited. And I think when we brought in the Twisted Sisters in January, she was totally exposed. Yeah. And I think her stock at that point totally dropped. And that's when I said to Jake, take these belts off of us right now.
Yep. No.
And that's why I had no issue 2 weeks ago when the show was saying, thank God the titles are off of me now. I could go do it. And if anybody thinks for a second that when you did that episode last week that I didn't know he was going to quit, did you notice I booked one of the old referees I had from I already put my seeds in place. Take the tag titles off of us. Do this, do that. I'm not stupid. Right. You know what I mean? But what a relief. Now you can go to somebody else's company, try to tell them how to run their company. And I've seen this my whole life. My parents had construction companies, kind of like what Rob Fury's partner does, the construction cleaning. My parents did that. A little bit more than just the final cleans. I'm talking everything from the sheathing, the lumber, to up into that. Right. Windows, the whole nine. And you would have employees try to tell the owners of this company how to do their job or how to run their company. And it's like, dude, I've been running this company for fucking 9.5 years. How are you, who have no success running a company, going to fucking tell me how to run it? In your opinion. Fuck your opinion. I don't give a fuck. The fuck are you? You've never spent, first of all, I don't even know if he's trained. He's a good referee. I can't say he's not, but dude, give me a fucking break.
I said the same thing. I said, I'm not taking anything away from what he does. He's a good referee, and maybe he does know the whole psychological part of being in the ring and as a competitor.
If you tell him, because like, I don't think a parrot is intelligent. I think a parrot is a tape recorder.
Right.
So if Jake says something, he just repeats what Jake says, and he tries to age up people's matches. These guys when we got rid of all my students, wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill the referees. Wanted to kill him. Nobody could stand him. Nobody could stand him there. He's lucky. I fucking Donnell's like, you should have let me kick his ass. That's what he said to me during the week. I said, yeah, I guess I should have. Scotty Priest stopped that.
That wouldn't have solved anything. Like in this situation, violence would have just made it worse because it just would have gotten the people involved in unnecessary trouble. And who needs that right now? Especially, we're not all 15 and 16 where you can get into a fight and brush it off and call it a day. Now people call the cops, people get arrested. And I could definitely
that's some real pussy shit.
Well, I could definitely see him being a cop caller. That's just my opinion.
Oh yeah. He'd being passive aggressive. Yep. He reminds me of that guy. You ever see that movie Mo Money?
Yes.
With Stacey Dash and the Wayans brothers. Yeah. The Wayans brothers. Okay, so Stacey Dash, the hot black girl, was dating some guy with glasses. He reminds me of that fucking guy.
Oh God. I mean, just look at some of the places he's been, and he's had problems.
CZW, Tier 1, Warriors of Wrestling, D2W. It's every
Paragon.
Oh, Paragon. This guy got his girlfriend booked out there. Something happened, and he didn't like the way they were booking his girlfriend. He quit. It's like, dude, there's something fucking wrong. It's not everybody else. It can't be. He had a problem with Dennis, but the thing with Dennis was Dennis was making a profit off of the exposure with Jesse and Mark House match, Athletic Commission, and whatever exposure he got. Dennis didn't run. That was August. I'd say maybe the third week of August. It was around SummerSlam. I think it was around SummerSlam weekend. I think that's what it was. And Dennis didn't run another show till December. So how the fuck? I don't know what numbers Dennis did in December. I don't ask Dennis his finances. How the fuck would he, if he drew a profit or not, make a profit from something that happened 4 months prior? That makes no sense.
I don't know.
Like, if he was to say that Warriors of Wrestling made a profit, I could understand that more. But Tier 1? With that gap in between shows, like, nobody remembers that shit. Other things happen in the world. Nobody's going, oh, well, this is the match that the Athletic Commission shut down. Nobody cares.
Well, and again, like I said, he made it into something it wasn't. He wanted to make it into something about sexism. And it wasn't.
And I said that, you know what, it wasn't sexism. First of all, if you want to talk about a guy maybe being ignorant and not knowing the rules, yeah, I believe that, because that's what he was going by. He thought the rules said this. They clearly didn't. The guy was wrong. That's ignorance. It's not sexist. If that's the rules, that's the rules. He didn't write the rules.
Right.
He thought that's what the rules were. He was wrong. That's stupidity. That's not sexism. Like, dude, go fucking grow up. Move out of your fucking parents' house.
Oh, Jesus.
Seriously. Seriously. I mean, come on, dude. You're going to talk. Are you going to try to tell me how to run my business or who I should do business with? You ever hear the term that goes like this? Doctors hang out with doctors, lawyers hang out with lawyers. You know how the rest of that rhyme goes. If I want to, I'd rather surround myself with successful people than people that have failed. That's just good business. And to go out there and publicly or privately attack somebody that I'm doing business with, why the fuck would I want to keep you in the fold? That's a cancer.
I don't look. I said from day one I did not understand it. I don't, and I still to this day don't understand. Since day one when I met him, I've done nothing but try to reach out to him and support what he was doing and try to help. But the problem is he just did not utilize the resources around him, and when his shows failed, he liked to point the finger at everybody else instead of pointing at the guy in the mirror.
You can ask anybody that's run with me for, like Jake, or guys that have run me for a while. You know, Chris Banks is right. I mean, you can ask Chris Banks. You can ask anybody that's been with me for a long time. James Riley. Ask these guys. When shit goes downhill or something bad happens, we don't draw right. I blame myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not if somebody does something where it's out of my. But if I'll blame myself, I'll always take the blame. And when something goes right, I give the guys the credit. That's how the boss is supposed to do things.
Right. Not
blame everybody else.
No, it's true.
Somebody just said the referee version of JKO. I guess you could kind of put that together. Sure, I'll go with that. But no, because JKO is a jerk off right from the get go. Or maybe he'll be good for one show. So I'll say that guy's a little worse. But yeah, it's like he's ruined it for his girlfriend because nobody wants to hire her either.
Yeah,
because I gotta deal with this guy.
They know the baggage that comes with it. So he has to work her matches. He calls her. He calls the match, which I still just don't understand that. I mean, look, if you're a referee, you're a referee. I don't care if you're dating who. I don't care who you're dating in the locker room. Just do your job. Why are you so? Get out of her. She's never going to learn if you're calling her match.
Let's go. Hold on. Another thing. The posters. Poster gets made. I'm like, oh, this is a really cool poster. I show someone, that's a really cool poster. This looks really good. Put it up. Do my thing. Maybe a few hours go by. Not even a few days. A few hours go. Oh, that poster's AIDS. Oh, why is it AIDS? Well, there's not many local guys on it. Okay. Well, we have a lot of people, and if it's a convention day, we have all these guests in. I can only put one or two local guys on it, and maybe it's Riley or whatever. Why wouldn't I put the people that aren't normally there? You're going to tell me you're going to see a poster with Jason Koloff, James Riley, Jacob, all these guys that you see every show, and then walk into the show, I'm here, and then, oh, wow, Corporal Kirschner's here, Ron Simmons is here, Rosita's here, you know what I mean? With Jimmy Hart, you would put the guys that aren't normally on the fucking show.
Right. Because you want these people to show up with money.
Of course. Why the Twisted Sisters on there? I don't know, because people want to fucking see them.
Well, not according to him.
You heard the reaction. You heard the reaction of the crowd.
Yeah.
That's not made up noise. They were chanting for them. They weren't chanting for Joey B. They were chanting for them over me and Jessica.
Yeah. I mean, even when you first posted the picture, you were getting bombed with like after like after like after like.
That was it wasn't the show post. It was just a promo picture of those two with belts. I think maybe from Tag. I don't know where the fuck the belts were. I said, "Oh, coming in that's when he quit the first time," and people were like loving it. Yeah. Oh, the girl from Lucha Underground. Obviously, Holiday's not from there, but with Cobra Moon Thunder Rosa is from there. And people are like, "Oh, we want to come," and people that normally don't come came.
Right.
That's how you do fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if you have no business etiquette, but that's how you do fucking business.
Well, the first, we talked about work ethic and etiquette last week when you don't talk about your talent. So, right there, he's off to a negative start because he's bashing people that are brought in to work with him, and he's bashing his